welcome back. Once again, we're in the garden with me, LunchBox grows. I'm not Italian and I'm not Mario, but I make it work. Man, it's been a while. I am overdue for an update. We got a lot of shit going on in the garden. And then we got not shit going on. I don't know. Whatever. We got some weird shit. So, we got a few things to go over in the bedroom. Anybody that's following along with the bottle grow, and if you're doing it, I have had a problem. I'm guessing you might have too. I know at least one of you has because you commented and told me that your bean died. Well, guess what? Same boat. We're paddling upriver and we only have one paddle because mine fucking fell out of the boat and I didn't notice because I was smoking weed. So we're relying on you. No, I'm just kidding. But I'll fill you in on what's going on with that. I'll fill you in on the training that we got going on in the bedroom. The training and defoliation that we had to do in the flower room. Wild. And the flowers that are getting ready to come down in about a week. Looking beautiful. By the way, does anybody else do this? I like to take my blunt roaches sometimes. Can't really see it. I like to take my blunt roaches and I just put them in the pipe like that and smoke them down. I call them little slugs. You know, like a shotgun slug. But you just light it. Leave it there and rip it. So, you've seen my roach collections. And even with all those roaches, I do this a lot. So, take that and do with it what you want. Let's go check out the fucking bedroom. Ooh, doggies. Look at them ladies. Alright, as usual, we're going to start our garden update over here on this little shelf. I apologize for the fan, but I got this fuzzy thing on the mic. Can you hear that? Can I hear that? Floofing it like this. Floofy mic. But hopefully that'll cut down on the wind noise because I don't like to shut off my fans. So my bottle, my seed, did not work. It died pretty much immediately. So I took a clone, I popped the clone in there and put a bag over her. So far she is alive and doing life. She's not thriving yet. The leaves are not starting to come up, so I'm not taking the bag off yet. But she's been in there for longer than the seed was and she's still alive. So fingers crossed that this is our bottle grow that works to success. Anybody else out there who planted a seed in a bottle and it failed? Don't feel bad. Shit happens. Gotta roll with the punches. That's the point of experimentation. A failure is only education. Now we got the charms. The charms are lemon cherry gelato crossed with slushies by Raw Genetics. So these two, both looking really nice. Doing pretty good stuff. This one's a little bit delayed. She's a little bit slow. You know, it's okay. I'm not hating on her. But she does still have her cup on. Need some water in those, they're pretty light. So, we'll give some water to those tonight. Next one's up, we got the Cheddar. Cheddar! That's by Rugamontito. This one's the smaller of the three. All doing pretty well though. The largest of the three. Cascade a little bit. Sorry about all my sniffles, the allergies have got me fucked up this time around. But we make do. Next up we got the Midnight Gaia. I don't remember the breeder. Did I write it down? Did not write down the breeder. I don't remember. There were some random seeds that I got at a show, so I planted them up. And we got two that are clearly doing quite well, and one that is also stunted. Seem to always have one in the bunch that's a little bit stubby, but it's kind of the point of growing from seed instead of clone. I could grow from clone, I could take clones, I could keep a mother if I had the space, or I could outsource and buy my clones on seedsman.com or some other website that sells and sends clones in the mail, and have consistency along the line. But I'd rather experiment and see what happens with the different phenos that come out of each little seed. Like with these ones, for example, the Breakfast in Bud, which is biscotti crossed with cereal milk. If I remember right, it's by Smoke and Grower. These have had their outward training. We got their LST on there, pulling those branches outward, getting those inner canopies to come up and fill out. She is quite deep down there with some really long arms. I'm pretty positive that I am going to do some super cropping or some high stress training on these for those top branches. Probably do it tonight. So with that one, for example, I'm going to take it right here. It's a little bit higher than the rest of the canopy. I could go down this neighborhood, but because she's so close to going into flower, about a week away, I'm just going to go right here, and I'm going to pinch and twist pretty violently. Really kind of hurt your fingertips. Get in there. See how that's bruised and damaged? And keep going. Keep going. About 90 degrees. She might fall just a little more. I usually like to stop right there. I don't want it to go too far over, but that right there is going to send a signal to the rest of this branch that we have damage at the top. Our main focus of growth has had a substantial amount of damage done to it, and now we're sending a signal to all of these other branches down here that are coming off of it to come up, and we're also slowing our vertical growth here. So we're stimulating our middle and lower canopy growth vertically. And that is super cropping, or an example of high stress training. So I'm going to do that to this one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And I'm going to bend them all inward. I'm going into the canopy, not outward, because I still want them to fill out inward. I want that to come up, and it's going to kind of do this number, as opposed to doing this number and weighing down this branch outward when the buds come up. I want that weight to go inward of the canopy. This one, the little Cabbage Patch pheno, looking like cribbly woggly wiggly wigglies. These girls are crazy. Or sorry, this girl is crazy. She's doing all kinds of weird shit. But of course, what I'm looking for to illustrate, I can't really find. But I can show you an example of the super cropping that we just did right there. Later on, we did that early on with these ones. You can see that knuckle right there. That is where she was super cropped before. And has grown up to there. So basically everything outward of my arm, I got it on camera, I'm not sure, that's all that one branch, taking up about a quarter of the plant. And this girl back here, I don't think I'll be doing any super cropping on her, even though she's got a couple of tall branches. I just kind of want to see how those play out, and they are quite a bit lower than those over there. So if I'm trying to get an even canopy, I want that one to grow a little bit faster, that one to kind of status quo, and that one to slow down. So high stress training, super cropping, nothing, happy thoughts. But again, another example in the cereal milk, or the breakfast and bud, I'm sorry, cereal milk crossed with biscotti. This pheno versus this wonky little derp and this giant. So I'm guessing we're seeing a lot of generally sativa dominant traits in this plant. Extra chromosome and more indica dominant over here with definitely some sativa tendencies. That is where we be. That's the bedroom tonight. Sad to report about our failed bean, but either way, it's all good. Happy plants. Now can we please check out the flowers already? Ding, 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 ding. Lemon drizzle. Doing the thing. Oh, I was zoomed in a little bit. No wonder. That was weird. Nice looking buds. These are the smaller buds. Pheno. I'm looking over here. Look at this right here. Come on. Call it neon. It looks like an Arizona sunset, man. Orange, purple, green, almost some blue maybe. A little bit of gold in there. Right, man, it smells like a candy shop in here. The shorter of the three, still with a nice canopy going on there. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky, I'm a little overextended. All three of these girls could really use a leaf defoliation at this point. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I probably won't, so I'll trim all these extra water leaves that are on here. I'll probably trim them off at harvest when I cut the branches off before I hang the plants. So I don't have to deal with this stuff when I'm actually trimming the flower and getting it in my trim. But these girls are looking really, really nice. The Lemon Drizzle by Barney's Farm. They are set for the chopping block in, oh no, I guess it's like 2 weeks or so. The 30th of this month. $10-gallon fabric, cocoa and perlite, and then back here we got Levi's Lavender Sunrise. These girls are super fussy, man. They seem to really like a bit higher pH than what I typically feed. I usually feed around 6.2. They've been liking 6.5, 6.7, and that's alright. They also, you see that these are in tomato cages because they have a little bit of a weakness when it comes to branch strength. And I wanted to make sure when they start packing on that bud weight that they weren't just falling over. So as opposed to my typical outward training with the plant ties, pulling the branches outward that you saw next door, I went with the tomato cages on these. They also recently got a really heavy defoliation, even though it might not look like it. Oddly enough, it seems like the more foliage that's on those plants, it doesn't matter how much I water or how little I water or what I give them, they're just super droopy. So every time I did like a good heavy defoliation on them, they come back and they start looking quite a bit happier. Leaves are up, and when I say droopy, I mean like this leaf right here would typically just be like way under and just wilty and sad. You can see these ones are a little bit down right now. They do need water. They're ready for water tonight, so that's why they are a little bit droopy, but ultimately they look incredibly happy to be doing plant life right now compared to what they did a few days ago before I did their defoliation. So higher pH, some extra silica for strength, and some extra branch support, extra defoliation. And I think between all of that, we got them to a pretty happy state right before we figured out, right before they went into flower. So I think we're destined for success. Aren't we? Isn't that right, you fussy little girls? You fussy, fussy little... You're gonna give me some big, potent ass buds. If I remember right, I think Levi's crop tested at 28 or 29%, and I had another buddy that grew the same strain, and his tested at 32% total cannabinoids. So, I mean, that's up there on the scale. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what I produce out of here and seeing what my numbers come up to in comparison to the actual developer of the strain and another friend of mine who also grew it out. That's going to be fun. I'll definitely do a video on the test of those. So there we are. That's where we be. That's the garden update for now as of today, which is Monday the 14th. So yeah, we got about 2 weeks until those are going to be harvested end of the month. I've been slacking on it, but my next video is going to be I'm going to weigh out the actual weight of my roach collection. I was requested to make a video on how much weight my roaches actually are. So I'm going to do that this week, probably around Wednesday or something like that. Earlier if I can, but we'll see how that works out. But as always, I really appreciate you stopping by the channel, seeing how the girls are doing. If you're not a subscriber yet, subscribe to the channel so you can see how the perpetual grow rotates, how every harvest goes, and what training methods or nutrient methods or pesticide methods or whatever methods I'm trying to do at the time. See if they work, see if they fail, see if they make a difference, see how the crops do, see how they react, and see how you can apply those techniques to your own logic in your own garden. Okay, bye.